session. So I think yesterday we have some interruptions in between. So let me start with it with the previous session in a quick manner, and let me also come on to the today's session also. So today we'll be seeing a private VPN, that is virtual private network. So one kind of different types of network. Okay, so before that we'll come on to the previous session. We'll cover. Okay, so let me see the previous session's objective is working of BitTorrent protocol, and the outcome is that the students may be knowing about or understanding about the BitTorrent, working of the BitTorrent. So this was the outline. What is meant by BitTorrent protocol and what is the terminology used, and what is the architecture of BitTorrent protocol and the working of BitTorrent protocol. So what is how the file sharing is done with the help of the BitTorrent protocol, and how the file downloading happens with the help of the BitTorrent protocol. Then we'll be seeing what are the torrent search sites available, and we'll be seeing BitTorrent clients and what are the advantages of BitTorrent and what are the disadvantages of BitTorrent protocol and what are the uses, and finally we'll conclude that. Okay, so what is FTP is that file transfer protocol, which follows the client server model. So you'll be having a central server. From the server all the clients will be receiving or sharing some files. Okay, so the central server will store all the files. So the server may come across some traffic or overload based on the request received from the so many number of clients. Okay, so this was the traditional file sharing was occurred using FTP. So what is peer-to-peer network is that? So the peers, maybe a host machine or any computer, they can easily communicate with the nearby peer. Okay, so the network was built in such a way that the resources can be easily shared among the peers. Okay, so peers may be acting both as a client as well as the server, and this peer-to-peer network will be a centralized model or decentralized model in case of using the BitTorrent protocol. Okay, so centralized means it is following somewhat like client server model. Decentralized means without the server, the peer can easily transfer the files from one host to another host. Okay, so there are some of peer-to-peer protocols available. These types are listed here: Napster protocol, Nutella protocol, Cadamla protocol, Fast Track, and BitTorrent protocol. So now we are going to see this BitTorrent protocol, which is a peer-to-peer, which follows a peer-to-peer network model. Okay, so in the traditional client server download, so the user will be going to open a web page and click on the link to download any file. So the web browser on the particular machine, that is the client machine, will tell the server to transfer the particular copy of file to their computer. And this was the transfer was handled by the protocols like file transfer protocol, HTTP protocol. Okay, so the transfer speed is affected by number of parameters like type of the protocol used and what is the amount of traffic load on the server, and what is the number of downloading files. So all these factors will reflect the transfer speed of any files from one host to another host. Okay, so suppose if the file needs to be transferred is very large and the file is in demanded by many people, then it becomes it will take more time to download for a particular user. Okay, so what is the definition of BitTorrent is that it can be referring three things. One is company, and it referring the software program, and the third one is it is referring a protocol. Okay, so we'll see the two kinds of things. That is protocol. BitTorrent is a protocol, and we can also depict BitTorrent as a software program also. So BitTorrent protocol is following a peer-to-peer network model, or it's a file sharing protocol used for distributing the large amount of data over the internet. So with the help of BitTorrent protocol, you can go for sharing a very large file in a minimum amount. Within a short time, you can download a very large file within a minimum bandwidth requirement also. That's the main advantage of using the BitTorrent protocol. So coming on to peer-to-peer downloading or sharing files from another person instead of downloading them from a server. So what is the main advantage is that, so from the server, if you want to download any content, so it requires some time. So this peer-to-peer is minimizing some retrieving time from the server. Okay, you can also go for downloading, or you can share the files from the nearby host machine also. Okay, then comes the BitTorrent software. So a peer-to-peer client is used to connect through the internet, so that the users will be go for downloading as well as uploading. So the download file will be in the form of a torrent file. Okay. So what is BitTorrent? Is a protocol that enables fast downloading of large files within a minimum, using the minimum internet bandwidth. Okay. So it costs nothing to use this protocol, and it also includes no spyware or pop-up advertising also. So what is meant by spyware? So spyware in the sense it is a type of malware software or malicious software. So this software that collects and shares some information about a computer or a network, so without the knowledge of the user. So that's the main purpose of using the spyware software. Okay, so the most popular video, audio, and or any software files can be transferred in a faster manner and in a cheaper manner with the help of this BitTorrent protocol. Okay, so BitTorrent is a system that is used to transfer and download the files peer-to-peer. Okay, we can call BitTorrent as a file sharing technology, which is commonly used today. Okay, so the purpose is to quickly replicate in the sense making a number of copies. So replicating one large file to a person who is downloading it, and that will be shared to the nearby peers also. So BitTorrent was originally created by an American programmer named Bram Cohen, and now it is maintained by a company called BitTorrent Incorporation. Okay. So BitTorrent is peer-to-peer file transfer protocol. It is used for transferring large files, and many users can take part in this can be participated actively in the file sharing concept, and it achieves a huge success in file sharing domain also. So Bram Cohen was a programmer. He was created this BitTorrent protocol in the year 2001. So he was a son of the computer scientist, and he learned the basics of the programming at the age of 5. And he was dropped out of the college to work for companies. So he was put up in some project named Mojo Nation. So from that project, he got an idea of creating this BitTorrent protocol. Okay. So the history comes how the BitTorrent protocol emerges in the sense that BitTorrent was designed and developed by a programmer in the year 2001. Programmer named Bram Cohen, and he then created a company of BitTorrent with a partner named Ashwin Navin in the year 2004. So what are the striking characteristics of BitTorrent protocol is that no central server is needed for setting up the peer-to-peer network, and no single point of failure is also there. And if one of the peer is failed to transfer, then the peer can connect it with the can able to connect with the next peer. So that's the main advantage of using a peer-to-peer network here. So there will be more number of users will be get connected. So greater will be the transfer rate of your data transfer. Then data available in pieces, not as a single large file. So once the host or any peer wants to transfer their data, then they can be divided into some pieces of data. So each piece will be further divided into subblocks, so blocks of data. Okay, and this piece of data will be incorporated with some hash values in order to provide a data integrity. So that is, you are providing security for the data. So there are some of BitTorrent related terminology. So there we need to know first of all this. So what is BitTorrent? It's a small metadata file. So this metadata file, metadata means so describing about the what is the information contained in that particular file. That is metadata file. Okay. So this file will be in a .torrent extension. So this file will be received from the web server. Okay. And what does this .torrent file contains is that information. So information is nothing but describing the files of the torrent. What are the informations in the torrent file? It will be describing, it is acting as a dictionary. Okay. Unknowns in the sense it contains the URL of the tracker. So tracker means it's a server which is connected to the peer. Okay. And creation date will be there, and comments from the author, which is an optional field, and created by who creates this BitTorrent protocol, or who creates this file will be an optional one, and piece length, number of bytes in each piece will be represented in integer, and pieces it is representing the strings just consisting of 20 byte SHA hash values. So one per piece. Okay. And private is a field which is an optional field where the client requests to avoid some publicity, publishing its request. Okay. So what do you mean by peer? Peer is nothing but a host machine or a computer. So on the that is connected to the internet, which do the function of transferring the files. So either the peer will be acting as a client as well as the server also. So peer does not have the complete file with them. Okay. So leecher. So leecher is a host machine, or is someone who is downloading. So here in this picture you can see an insect called leech. So what is the functionality of this insect? Will suck the blood from the human being. Okay. So likewise, in terms of leecher, in terms of network, person or some machine or some user who is going to download some files from via the internet. Okay. So leecher is similar to that of a peers. They won't have the complete file. Okay. But the main difference between the peer and the leecher is that the leecher will not upload. So leech will be having the downloaded file, they will not go for uploading it. Okay. So next the terminology is seeder. So seeder is something, someone who has finished downloading the file, and next they will be continuing with the uploading process. Okay. So now the seeder will have the complete file, downloaded file with them. Okay. So now the seeder will act as one peer which has the complete file. They can help in sharing the complete file to the next peer. Okay. So a seed in the sense a computer that has a complete copy of the certain torrent. So once the client completes the downloading file, he can go on with the uploading also. This process is called as seeding. After downloading, they can go for uploading. That is called as seeding. So this is a good practice in BitTorrent world, since other users can replace those resources in an easy manner, in a time constrained manner also. In a fast manner, they can access from the seeder also. So then comes the next terminology is tracker. So BitTorrent, we call this as a BitTorrent tracker. So here in this picture, you can see a tracker which is connected to 4 or 5 numbers of peers. Okay. So suppose if peer 1 wants to transmit a file, they'll be requesting the tracker in search of that particular file. So the tracker will be responding to the particular peer, or else the tracker will be saying so and so peer will be having such piece of data with them. Okay, so it's a server which regulates all the communication between the peers. So they'll be managing both the uploading and downloading torrents also. So tracker is a server on the internet that will coordinate all the clients, all the peers. Okay. The clients will be in touch with the server to know about what are all the peers in the swarm. So swarm is next terminology, which is nothing but the group of machines or group of peers that are collectively connected in the internet in purpose of sharing the particular file. Okay. So here comes, you can see the architecture of the BitTorrent, how it works. So in the first picture, you can see tracker is connected with 4 peers. Okay, you can see 2 types of connection is established. Number 1 is so that is dotted line is representing the TCP connection and the solid line representing the HTTP connection. Okay, so the dotted lines will be between the 2 peers. So here that peer is one peer is communicated with the next peer via the TCP connection. They will be establishing the handshake connection, that is TCP connection. So in each peer, BitTorrent client software must be installed. That client program must be supported or executed by the operating system. Okay. So in the second connection, you can see the tracker is connected with the peer. So that connection is established with the help of a HTTP protocol. Okay. So here you can see HTTP protocol is connection is established between the peer and the tracker, and TCP connection is established between one peer with that of the another peer. So next we will be seeing what are the components involved in BitTorrent system. So the first component is meta information file, second one is data, third one tracker, peers and client. So what is meta info file? In the sense the file will be in the form of .torrent extension. So it contains all the information about the torrent. Okay, so here also what is the encoding scheme used by the BitTorrent is called as bell coding. Okay, so all the pieces will be encoded with the hash values. Okay, so the next component is data. So I have already told that data is it can be either a single file or a multiple files that is contained in a directory. So if the size of the file is so large, then every data or any file going to be subdivided or split into many pieces of equal size, and each piece is subdivided into blocks also, many blocks also. So the piece will be having a hash value that is needed for the data integrity check. Okay, so the common piece size will be of 256 kilobytes or 512 kilobytes and 1 MB kilobytes. So then next comes the next component is tracker, which is a server which manages all the peers or peers which are participating in the transfer of files. Okay. It also helps in finding the peers which are all next to each other, and it is a HTTP service that works on the port number 6969, and the peer will be sending the request to the tracker, and in turn the tracker will be sending reply to the peers, having it will send the reply in the form of some pieces of files what the user requested. Okay, so the tracker responds with a list of peers that have requested the piece. A tracker can manage so many number of torrents. Okay, so this picture is depicts the working of a particular tracker, how it works. It will be responding the peers with some pieces of files with them. Okay, so peers or the clients who are the responsible for file transfer. So the peers may be of leacher, or they may be seeder also. So peer is helpful in downloading the file with the help of the torrent. It depends on number of peers also connected with them. So first thing, the peer, if the peer is want to retrieve any file from the server, it needs to make a handshake communication. So these handshaking involves 3 messages. The first message comprising 19 characters followed by the BitTorrent protocol. Next 20 bytes hash value. Then 20 bytes peer ID will be mentioned. So all these details will be informed in the TCP connection, that is handshaking. And peers will be start communicating with the other peers also. They will pass number of messages between them to send. They will all the peers will be in the form of will be connected via the internet. Okay, client means BitTorrent client is a software program that implements the BitTorrent protocol. Okay, so each client will be capable of preparing, requesting, and transmitting any type of files over the internet using the protocol. So client is nothing but a software executable program running on the user's machine. And this client program will be supported or executed by the operating system to perform some operations, read and write operations. So .torrent file must be opened by the client program, and the peers with the same client will be getting a better performance of transferring the files. So how it works, to share the data, you can have a tracker server .torrent file. So these two are very important. So track server will be having this .torrent extension file. So that is the complete copy of the file being shared. Okay. So this .torrent file will be containing the data. It will be comprising what is the length of the file it have and name of the file. All such informations will be in the .torrent file. Okay, so when the user opens the .torrent file, it will be connected to the other client, and it start downloading. So this is what the BitTorrent networks look like. So here you will be having the central tracker server. So from the tracker server, the peers may be communicating with the tracker server, and they will also have the communication with the nearby peers also. Okay. So now let's see the working of BitTorrent protocol. Okay. So first the seeder. So seeder, we have seen this terminology. So what is the purpose of seeder is that someone who completes the downloading of a torrent file or whatever the file needs to be shared, and they will be uploading also. So both the process will be done by the seeder. So seeder will be having the complete copy of the file to be shared. Okay. Okay. First, the seeder will send the .torrent file. It will generate the .torrent file and it will send to the web server, upload to the web server. Okay. And the second process, the seeder will communicate with the tracker also, and it will send the notification that it is going to share the file, torrent file. Okay. So next, the leecher. So this client will be acting as a leecher. So leecher, the main functionality is they will be going for downloading the file. So the leecher will download the torrent file from the web server, and the leecher will connect to the tracker specified in the torrent file. Okay. Next, the leecher will connect to the peers nearby. That is, now it is connecting to the seeder to retrieve the pieces of files, because this leecher is connecting to the seeder. The seeder will be having the complete file. Okay. So by the way, they can share the files needed. Okay. So how does the file sharing happens here is, suppose if the file is divided into 5 pieces, so each peer each piece will be incorporated with some hash values. Okay. So here you can see the tracker, the server here, which is consisting of the seed file, that is complete file is here. Okay. And 3 clients are connected with the server, or they are waiting to download the particular file from the tracker server. If this is the situation, so what does happen? So from the tracker, the client 3 is getting 1 piece of file, and from the trackers, the client C2 is getting 1 piece of file. Next, C1 is also getting some piece of file. Okay, and they can go on getting the red piece from the client 3. So in this way, whatever the piece having nearby clients, they can easily share from the nearby clients instead of going and getting from the tracker server. So in this way, they can get all the pieces in a faster manner. So each peer will be communicating with the nearby peer, also with the tracker also. Okay. This, all the pieces will be received by all the peers. Okay. So as the file segments are downloaded by more and more peers, the peers becomes the source machine. So from that machine, you can go for accessing that machine can have required file, so that other peer can go for downloading that. Okay. So because the tracker randomizes the list of peers, the tracker what does this tracker do is, it is sharing the load to every other peers. So the load is get spreaded. Okay. So how does the file download happens here? So first download the torrent client program in order to download any files. Okay. Then go to a good torrent search engine and download the file with the .torrent extension. Then you can go for opening that particular file in the client machine. Then you can go for start downloading your file. Okay. So first thing, this here is acting as a leech. It is contacting with the web server, and from the web server it is getting the torrent file here. So .torrent file is downloaded from the web server. So next it is contacting with the tracker with the help of the request that is get announced. Okay. Next thing, the tracker will be giving some response to the peer. So tracker is sending response. In case if the peer is in search of any file from the tracker, then it will be sending some piece to the peer A also. If it is not so, then it will be the peer will be contacting with the nearby peers. So next peer connection is established by the TCP connection. Okay. So peer to tracker there will be a HTTP connection, and peer to peer there will be a TCP connection. Okay. Now after establishing the TCP connection with one peer to another peer, they can go on sharing the pieces, whatever the pieces they are having, they can go on exchanging the pieces of data between them. Okay. So here you can see C is acting as a seeder. So C is having the complete file. So from the C, the A can get the other pieces of file. Okay. Starts exchanging the pieces of data. Then peers periodically they'll be contacting with the tracker, and the tracker is also giving response to the peer. So this is what the working of how the file is downloaded happens. Okay. So these are some of the torrent search sites listed: torrents.com, piratebay.org, minova.com, isohunt.com, extratorrent.com, kickcast.to. So from these search engines, you can go and download the particular torrent files. Okay. So these are the BitTorrent client software program available: Dialog, Transmission, KTorrent, Views, QBitTorrent, BitTorrent, then BitComet, and MicroTorrent. So what is the advantage of using the BitTorrent protocol is that it is very easy to use, and it makes the connections in a faster manner to retrieve any files in need. If any peers fail, then you can move on to the next peer to get some needed files from them. So all the peers will be in a connected via the internet. So it is very easy to search through the web also. No central server is involved, and it is very free to use, and no subscriptions also required. Added on to this, some more advantages: it allows higher download rates. So the thing is that you can download any large file in a faster manner and within a minimum bandwidth also. So it negates the server download time also, and it equalizes the burden of hardware requirements such as hosting, bandwidth across all users of the file. Okay? And some of the disadvantages are listed here. The tracker is needed for downloading the file. If the tracker fails, then the download will fail. That's the main disadvantage in using this BitTorrent protocol. Torrent spread the viruses also. So whenever the user needs to download any file, they may not be knowing that downloaded file is comprising some viruses or Trojan-like things. So that will collapse their own particular host machine or any other files within that. Okay. So torrent spread viruses, Trojans rapidly, as torrent file purity cannot be guaranteed. Okay. And the speed is also limited to how many seeds are there of the file you are downloading versus how many people are downloading the same file. Okay. So based on that, the speed is limited also. So as well as downloading the file, you are also need to uploading to. So which is a waste of bandwidth also. So what are the files downloaded? the host machine need to upload also. So it takes for downloading some bandwidth and for uploading some bandwidth. Okay. Added on to the previous slide, some more disadvantages are, so downloads can be slow to start due to the limited number of connections when starting a torrent download. BitTorrent is often used in illegal purposes. That is used for illegal downloading of any movies or which are not come into picture. Okay, downloads can be difficult to finish also if many users do not have a particular part of the file. Okay, so the use of BitTorrent is both is used to download the files as well as to transfer the files among the different many peers. Okay. So these are some of the steps how to install BitTorrent. To install, you can go for download the program from the www.bittorrent.com. Okay. Then you can click on free download. Then some 4 steps need to be done. In all the 4 steps, you have to press the next button. Then in the step 5, you have to choose the location where you want the file to be placed or installed. And then step 6 and 7, you need to press the next button. Then after launching the program, you need to click on the new apps button. Then now either choose the apps below or to search from the app in the search box. So after choosing the apps, click on plus add to install it. Okay. So after installing it, you will it will appear a torrent tweet beneath the new apps. Then you can go for running simply by clicking on it. Okay. Then BitTorrent has many functions. So some of the features are presented here. That is how to create a torrent file, and next thing, how to download a torrent file. So how to create a torrent file, the step 1, you have to create a torrent file by clicking on create new torrent. Second step, you have to click on add file to add the file you want to share. Third step, after that, choose the image or any sound clip or video, then click on the open. Step 4, now you can go for seeing the dot extension file there. Then you can list some additional trackers if you wish to know about the trackers. Okay. Next thing, you can go for choosing the place where you want the torrent to be saved, and then click on save. So finally, you will see the torrent file that you have created in the folder. If you want to wish to share it with your friends all, then you can go on sending the torrent file to them. Okay. So how to download a torrent file is that to download the torrent file, you need to go on to the torrent search engine and search for the particular file you wish to download. Okay. Next thing, you can choose a torrent that you desire. Note you have to make sure of that if the particular file is having so many number of seeds, the seeder will be having the complete file. Okay. So next thing, you can click on the get this torrent to download that particular torrent instead of clicking on the download, which is the advertisement button. Okay. Next thing, you have to click on the allow and click on the OK button also to download the torrent. Okay. So far you have seen how to create the torrent file and how to download the torrent file. So next there comes some issues that is problems are faced while using the BitTorrent protocol, and there are some solutions to overcome that particular problem also. So the problems are listed here. The first thing is visible identity, copyright issues, viruses, and bandwidth. So what is meant by visible identity is that the problem is that when you go for downloading or uploading the files using the BitTorrent, your IP address will be visible to the others, so that you are giving a chance for the hackers to hack your personal information. Okay, that should not be the case. So be aware of that. So this is the problem. To overcome this problem, the solution is that you can go for hiding your IP address. So you can't hide your IP address. That's the thing is here. So because it is needed to get connected with the in the internet. So IP address is the most essential thing to be connected with the internet. So however, by using a special program called peer block, so that program will block the suspicious people, that is unauthorized people. And you can also have the antivirus computer that could help your system in protecting the hackers and the viruses. That's the thing you can overcome this problem. Okay. Next issue is copyright issues. The problem is that many people will be using this BitTorrent. They'll be going for downloading the copyrighted torrent files. So it's an illegal thing. So which creates or which results in some serious problem. Even the user may lead to jail or court, anything else. Okay, so how you can overcome this problem? The solution is that avoid downloading the files that are copyrighted. Most music files or movies, okay, you need to check over. If it is legal file, then you can go on downloading them for free. Okay. The next issue is viruses. So sometimes when you go for downloading a torrent file from the internet, you could be getting a fake file or a fake file that is containing a virus within it. Okay. So the solution is you can go for using the antivirus client running on all the time and check the files that you download from the internet before you run on that. Okay. The next problem is bandwidth. So if you're downloading the files using a shared network, for example, this could result in slowing the internet speed for other people that are using the same internet. So bandwidth problem is there. Okay. So in order to overcome that, there's an option in the BitTorrent that lets you to limit your download or upload speed. Okay, limit your bandwidth. That's the option that is available in the BitTorrent protocol, so that other user should not complain that about the slow downloading process. Okay. So let me conclude. BitTorrent is a popular, widely used peer-to-peer technology deployed across the internet, which is used for downloading and sharing their files. Okay. It provides data integrity also, and which ensures that the data will be always genuine and free from the errors. Okay. So BitTorrent is used for tit-for-tat exchange of files to increase the cooperation among the many peers. Okay. So using BitTorrent is not a crime, but you need to be aware that if you are downloading a commercial content, like for example Google Chrome via torrent, there is no illegal thing. Suppose if you are downloading any commercial content, like any movies which is released recently via the torrent, then it is an illegal process. So to sum up with it, there are some of the list of trackers is listed here through this site, and some of the links is also listed how to download the torrents from these links. Okay, there's a warning. Please avoid downloading the copyrighted or pirated torrents. Okay, these are some of the references used for preparing the slide. Okay, this was the plan for the yesterday's session. Okay, so now I have completed the BitTorrent protocol. Now we'll move on to the the today's session, that is virtual private network. Okay, let's share that. Let me share that